Brap.
Brap, bap, bap. That's my favorite part in the Bruno Mars song.
There's a part where he goes, brap, bap,
Yeah.
bap.
Now entering Nerdist.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Half Hour Happy Hour with Allison and Alex. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Alison Haislip, and for about the next 30 minutes, we are going to sip some... Oh, my God, I fucked it up. We're going to sip some booze. Drink some news? No.
It was
some news.
It was your rolling of your eyes
every
at my
time you say-
episode instead of
every
edition.
Time you say edition, it drives me
Did you say edition
insane.
today?
Yeah, I did.
He
Last
says
week-
it every day.
Last time you said episode.
No,
though. That's confused
I
me
say
last time.
episode.
But last time
He
you said
says
episode,
edition.
and that's why I was confused.
Well, no,
Confused you
just-
saying edition.
Yeah.
Just introduce Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Sorry.
introduce
I'm Tom.
Hey, Tom. Hey, it's Tom. Tom is here. It's
Tom's
Tom
here.
and Tom.
Yeah,
Her
good enough.
sidekick.
We're
You
good.
guys, this episode is off to a fantastic start.
This episode is definitely bangers and mash right
Yeah.
now.
Bangers.
Bangers
I
and mash.
love bangers and mash.
I know it's great, right?
Yeah, really.
It's like they said breakfast. Let's just do it all.
But, no,
know what
it's
I
more
mean?
like dinner for breakfast.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Bangers
no,
and mash
or
is just
sausage.
sausage
Or
and
sausage.
beans. No, sausage
and mashed potatoes.
Fucking
I
hell.
think there's a few variations.
What's the beans? What's the breakfast? The full English breakfast.
Oh, English breakfast.
Yeah, that's the
with
thing that I
beans
love.
and yeah.
That's beans. It's got bangers. It's got no mash, I don't think. But
No mash.
anyway, I love all of
Toast.
it. Toast.
They like putting egg and toast, and
Yeah.
dipping it in the beans.
Ooh.
Yep.
Mm.
Now I'm hungry.
I love
No,
those
seriously, I'm
sweet.
starving
I
right
love
now.
those sweet, shitty Heinz beans.
I
you
love
know what I
too. They're
mean?
sweet,
Like,
yeah.
fuck, I
Hells
love those.
yeah. So good.
I feel like people don't give them enough joy. I mean, the Brits do, but the Brits like weird shit. Where
like
you're like,
mushy peas.
yeah, like I don't know what that is, but
Why-
it sounds horrible.
And what's that like?
It's mushed up peas.
What's blood pudding? Isn't that a British thing too?
Yeah, blood pudding.
Oh, yeah.
Is,
I feel like we talked about that before.
we have.
Actual blood.
Yeah, it's blood.
It's like boar's blood or something.
Yeah, stirred with like fucking
Grit
grit.
and
That
judgment.
tasty-
It's just
British
grit.
grit.
Yeah, it's got that roll up your sleeve British grit mixed in. I love it. So fun things happened.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Let
So-
me guess. Are we going to talk about your car?
We are going to talk about my car.
I hope you suffer.
Yay! So, okay, so a couple things. So, one of the things you have to realize when you buy a Tesla,
Okay.
they've only been making cars for like 3 years, right?
Right.
Or like 5 years, whatever.
Sure.
Mass production cars, right?
Right,
So
right,
they
right,
did the
right.
Roadster, which is a
Yeah.
little bit more bespoke, as
Right.
it were. Custom handmade.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
like a bespoke suit is like
I
a
know.
custom made suit,
I was
which I've always wanted to
I
buy.
was like, that's a good SAT word.
Yeah,
Listen,
bespoke.
Hey, everyone.
I'll-
We're only 2.5 minutes into our show, and you just learned something.
Yeah, and by the way,
You're welcome.
or if you've seen Kingsman: The Golden Circle, which is what I just did,
oh.
which was
I
fan-fucking-tastic.
forgot that it was out. Oh, I need to go see
It
that.
is.
Maybe I'll go see that on Sunday.
So Heather and I went with our friend Suzanne, and at the end, she leans over and she goes, "Well, that was a gloriously fun mess." And I was
Yes.
like, "Yeah."
That guy.
It's like you don't need to know what's going on.
No.
It's just fucking awesome,
And
wall to wall.
that lead
awesome.
guy is so hot and so funny. I'm
Egerton.
Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's Joel Egerton's brother.
Is he really?
Oh,
Yeah, that's
really?
Tyrion what's his fucking name? I can't remember what his name is.
Tyrion?
Yeah, he's got a weird like
Tyrion sounds like a prince from the Narnia books or
Yeah.
something like that.
or like one of the other Lannisters that they don't talk about. Oh, that's Tyrion Egerton Lannister. We don't
Yeah,
talk about him much.
no.
He's in the Secret Service. No, that's Joel Egerton's little brother.
Oh, well, now I
Cool.
get the whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the fucking.
Hi.
They're the Hemsworth or Hemsworth.
Hemsworths.
I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Of England or the Hemsworths?
I don't know. Are they British or are they? I feel like they might be.
If they're also Australian, that's unfair.
That's what I'm thinking. I think they might
Damn it.
actually be Australian as
You
well.
might be right.
Although I don't know. I heard him talk and he's sort of Britishy. Anyway,
Sort of British.
anyway. So by the way, Tyrion Egerton. So sorry because I know that's not your name at all.
But I still
it's like
find you
Joel.
so
It's Joel.
attractive.
Joel is the brother, right?
Joel's the brother.
Yeah. Fuck, I can't remember what his name
nice
is.
try.
Anyway,
If only we had a device on us to look it up.
we're not that smart.
Nope.
So here's what happened.
Yeah.
What happened?
All right.
Tesla.
Oh, right. We're back to your car.
Yeah, Tesla. Things. They're learning, right?
Yeah, okay.
Good news is when shit breaks, they're like, sorry, bring it in free. Don't worry about it, right?
Yeah,
cool,
got it.
yeah.
So my driver's side mirror, the motor sort of blew out.
Oh.
It didn't really blow out. It just was like, it
All of a
wasn't
sudden it was like,
folding. Like the mirrors weren't folding out fully. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is weird. So in July, got it replaced. I took it to Tesla. Can you replace this?
Right.
Yeah. Well, it started happening again. And I was like, nah, I know exactly what this is. So I was like, I called and I was like, can I bring it in? Can I schedule it to bring it in?
Yeah.
Well, then they called me and they go, how about we come to you?
Oh.
And I go, what? And he was like, we'll send one of our mobile service technicians out and he'll replace your mirror in your driveway. And I go,
yes.
Okay, that seems
Yes.
better.
Yeah.
But then, while I was talking to her, I go, could he replace my badge from 60 to 75 if I do the upgrade? And she goes, sure.
Oh.
And so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. After talking about that story, I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Fuck it. It's like $2,000.
Yeah.
It's already got the battery.
Right.
Let's do it.
That is funny that it is only $2,000. That does seem like
Well, it started as $6,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. It was going to be $6,000 when they first were selling it. And by the way, a lot of people on Twitter, when I finally said I pulled the trigger and upgraded my thing,
Oh,
were
I
like
missed that.
mad about the fact that Tesla sells you this thing. They don't do it anymore.
Right.
Because they discontinued the 60 model.
Oh.
So the whole point was it was more efficient for them. Okay. They still wanted to sell a 60 kilowatt battery car.
Right.
For the low end entry model version of the
So
S.
it was more efficient to create a car where you could just upgrade it via software
Right.
to actually make it separate
because
model
it was more efficient for them to just make
Yeah.
twice as many 75 batteries and sell half of them or a portion of them as 60s than to make 60 batteries and 75 batteries.
Right. That makes sense.
So there was just this window, and it was just a window. It was probably like 6 months maybe where they actually did it. So it's not like all 60s. They used to make 60
Right.
batteries.
Oh, and that
you know what I
just happened to be when you bought it.
I just happened to fall in this weird window where they were
Got it.
making them and selling them as 60s.
And so it used to be $6,000 upgrade.
It used to be
75.
$6,000, but then they discontinued the 60 and dropped the price of the 75.
Right. Okay, got it.
And then when they did that, they were like, well, we'll also drop the price it would be to upgrade your 60s to 75s.
Right.
I still fully believe that there will be a day in which they just go, fuck it, let's just turn all those 60s to 75s.
Yeah.
I just don't want to wait for that day anymore.
Yeah, right.
Because I was like, fuck it.
Okay.
So, guy shows up.
Guy shows up.
Guy shows up and is
All
like,
right.
hey, I'm Guy. And I was like, Guy, I'm Alex.
Hi, Guy.
Meet Bucephalus. He needs his little,
Yeah.
one of his little, eyes is a little slow.
Aww.
And so he's like, got it.
He's got a lazy eye.
Carvet.
Honestly, 30 minutes later,
Yeah.
guy's like, done.
And he switched out the 60 to the 75.
Switched out the 60 to the 75. And by the way, when I did the order online, I just was like,
Yeah.
buy the upgrade. I was like, great. And I was like, well, when is it going to happen?
Yeah.
And literally 5 minutes later, I was like, well, let me just check to see my car. And I opened the door and was like, congratulations, upgrade's done.
Woo!
It took maybe 45 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was really crazy
exciting.
because the battery, I had 128 miles left, and that was like 2/3 of my battery. And when I opened
Right.
up the door, I had 128 miles left, and it was like less than half the battery.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh.
How much can you
Tom.
get with what?
Road trip.
Yeah.
Trip, yeah.
So now at
Where can we go
at
on
a full charge?
Vegas.
At a full charge, it's 239 miles.
Is that
I
Vegas?
don't know. That's
No.
a
I don't
round
think
trip
that's Vegas.
to wine country where we can go drinking. Santa
Wine
Barbara,
country,
Solvay.
and
Yeah.
Bucephalus can drive us home.
Yes.
Still have to have a sober driver in the driver's seat, right?
I mean, yes.
Legally.
Legally, yes.
we don't follow the
Sober-ish?
rules.
Yeah, we don't follow any rules. I mean, laws, we follow
Podcast.
all laws, but none of the rules.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's pretty badass that they literally came to the house
Yeah.
and were like, we'll just do it in the house, to like fix it in the
Yeah.
house. And then sometimes the Tesla is so smart, it fools me. Ooh. So,
Whoa, something.
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, so
Alex?
here's the thing. As you guys know, most cars have the option where you put the car in reverse and it automatically tilts the driver mirror in and down.
I did
Okay.
not know that.
Yeah, so most cars, a lot of times, it's funny, Skya didn't know this on his car. So if you out there have a car that's semi-new
Yeah.
and your mirror does not tilt in and down when you put it in reverse and you think, it's weird that it doesn't do that. If you...
I wouldn't think it was weird that it doesn't do that.
It is weird because most cars do that.
No, but they have to come with the it's whatever it's called, like assist mirror or whatever it is.
No, most of them do, and they just don't know.
Oh.
So it's an on-off switch, but the on-off switch is usually the mirror selector. So if you have a car out there
Okay.
and it's relatively new and you've been wondering why it doesn't do the backup thing, try moving your selector for like, you know how you have to like select the left
The
one
right
to
or
move
the-
to the
yeah,
left,
yeah.
select the right one to move to the left. Switch it to whatever it's not, and then put it in reverse, and it will probably tilt down and in.
Oh,
Switch it
okay.
to whatever it's not.
Yeah, because if it's
Switch it to whatever it's
yeah.
not.
So like Skya had the same thing where he was like, "Yeah, mine doesn't do that," and I was like, "This is a nice car. It should
Have you
do that."
tried switching
And-
it to whatever it's not?
Yeah, and so I go, flip the switch on your selector, and he was like, select, and I was like, now put it in reverse, and he puts it in reverse, and it goes, and he was like,
Oh.
and I was like, welcome to the world, buddy.
I feel like switching it to whatever it's not is going to become the new like. Did you try unplugging it for 30 seconds?
yeah. The thing won't turn on. Did you switch it to whatever it's not?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Let me try that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was switched off. But anyway, so with Tesla,
Yeah.
and by the way, with those, see, I don't even know. That might actually work on those. I don't know that to be not true. It's weird. So what ended up happening was, the guy replaces the thing. I take it out. I go get coffee with a friend of mine, and I put it in reverse,
Right.
and the thing tilts up and in.
Oh no!
And I go, that's
it
weird.
It goes the wrong way.
It goes the wrong way. So I think, oh, it must have just crossed some wire.
You must have switched it to whatever it's not.
Yeah, he switched it to whatever it was not, and it
Okay.
should have been what it was
Right.
or is, whatever. So I call Tesla because I'm like, oh fuck, there can't be a setting. I don't see a setting in here
Yeah.
for like where it lands.
Yeah.
And most cars, I'm like, it's just an on-off thing. It either
Right,
is doing
right.
it or it's not. It's not
Right.
like
it's not a
how
fucking
should you do it?
smartphone in a car.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so I call Tesla. I'm like, and they were like, oh my god, we're so sorry. We'll send the guy back. Like right now. Are you there?
Guy?
And I'm like, yes, guy, send Guy. Jose, he's very nice.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Well,
I
he
wanted-
shows
I
up.
wanted his name to actually be Guy.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
So he shows up, and
Okay.
he's like, and I was like, I think maybe the wires are crossed and stuff like that. And he was like, it's actually a setting. And I was like,
Oh.
no, it's not. I've looked through the thing. And he goes, I was like, why didn't they just tell me this over the phone? And he
Yeah.
goes, I have read the manual of these cars inside
Yeah.
and out. It's very confusing. It basically doesn't tell you how to do this. And I was like,
Right.
okay. Which is, so when you change any setting in the car,
Yeah.
it opens up your personal preferences and says restore, meaning if you move the chair, you can just hit the restore button and it'll put it back to the way you like
Right.
it. Or save,
Yeah.
which is like, this is the new way I like it, right?
Right.
So I knew that.
Yeah.
So he does the monitor thing and hits save,
Yeah.
or like the thing, hits save. And I was like, great. Puts it in reverse, the thing goes up and then in.
Yeah.
But then he starts moving the mirror down and the restore save thing comes up. And I was like, oh my God, I can set it to whatever position I want it to end up in
Yes.
reverse. I just
Okay.
didn't know that I could do that.
Right.
But it also makes perfect sense.
Right.
Why wouldn't I be able to do that?
Right. Because you can freaking save where your seat. Back.
Yeah, exactly.
Like your
the
lumbar
head. Yeah,
support is
exactly.
going to be.
And you can save it. You can have multiple profiles. So like Heather has her own profile.
Right.
And the extra key is coded to her profile.
Right, so
So
when
if
she
she
opens
unlocks the door,
it sets for Heather.
It moves for Heather.
Yeah.
And so it's like, of course you'd be able to fucking do. And I was like, they should have just called, like, or just
Yeah.
told me over the phone, like, oh, you just put it in reverse, move the mirror to where you want it, and then hit save. And I've been
Yeah.
like, oh, that makes sense.
Right.
But instead, the guy came out because he was like, I just wanted to make sure you knew how it worked.
Yeah.
And I'm here, like, this is not a problem. And I was like, fuck,
I
they
mean,
keep
let's
sending
be
it.
honest. The person on the phone doesn't understand that you are a technological genius.
This is true too. That, to be honest, it's really funny. There's a
Yeah.
lot of hurdles, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners go through this, where when
Yeah.
you get to technical support, and
Yeah.
especially people like me who worked in technical support,
Right.
there's
They-
a whole layer of just a sheet that they
Right.
have to ask. That you're like, I'm one step beyond the sheet.
Right. Exactly.
I've done the sheet.
I remember, like, in college, bringing in my IBM ThinkPad one day because it was like I don't even remember what it
the
was doing,
ThinkPads.
but I had to bring it into like
With that like rubber nipple thing that
yeah,
moved.
the
Yeah.
nipple, absolutely. But I brought it into whatever tech support they have in colleges.
Yep.
And I was like,
By the way, I worked at one.
oh,
Go
yeah,
on.
sure. And I'm sitting there with the guy, and I'm like, it's doing this and this and this, and he's like, okay, well, let me do this. I'm like, no, I did that. And he goes, okay, but I'll do this. And I'm like, no, I did that. And he's like, but I'll try this. And I'm like, no, I did that. And he's like, you troubleshot your own computer? I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Because I can't figure it out anymore.
Yeah.
And he was
I did all
so-
the things.
Yeah, he was just so baffled that someone brought him a computer that had already been troubleshot.
Oh, my
And
God.
not just like, it won't turn on. And he's like, have you tried pushing the power button? And they go, what? That's insane.
Press and hold the power button? Why would I hold the power button?
Did you try switching it to whatever it's not?
Yeah, exactly. If you put it in its state, that is opposite to the state it is currently in.
Yeah.
Maybe that would work. Oh, you mean switch it to whatever it's not? Mhm. I did that, idiot.
Yeah.
That was phase 1. I actually have to say I did. It's so funny. I hate to say this because I'm pretty sure maybe it felt like it worked. It felt like it was a move that worked in college.
Oh.
And it worked because I ended up dating this girl for 2 years.
Oh.
But I was like, but just saying it out loud, I feel like that's not a
I
move.
can't wait. I can't wait. What
this-
is
yeah,
it?
this
What's
is good.
what's your move?
I fixed this girl's audio card wasn't working on her computer. Like we went out.
Is
we
that
were-
a euphemism?
Yeah. It was great.
Audio card.
Oh, I used my penis. I don't know how you fix audio problems. That's the best way to get somebody's audio fixed. We were at this event, and so there's a bunch of us, and she and I just kind of like paired off and started chatting as you do.
Yep.
And then we were talking. She was like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Well, I'm a computer science major." And she was like, "Oh, that's whatever." And then she was like, "Oh, my fucking computer's not doing that thing." And I was like, "Well, I can come by and check that out if you want. I'm sure I'd be
Yeah.
able to fix it."
That's a move.
And she was like, "Oh, that would be great. Let's go after dinner." And I was like, "Okay." And so we went after dinner,
Oh, that was a move.
and I fixed it. I was like, "Yeah, it's just a setting."
And
here."
then did you fix it?
Well, no. But then she told me she was into astronomy. She was like, "Oh, I really want to be an astronomer." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then she was like, "Yeah," and I put some of the celestial things on my wall.
Right, the glow in the dark.
The glow in the dark constellations.
Constellations?
Yeah, celestial
Celestial things.
And so I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And so she turned off her light, and I was like, "Oh, Cassiopeia." And she was just like, oh, "Thump thump
Wait,
thump thump."
did
thump,
you
thump.
say-
As my old acting teacher would call it, she whooshed.
Mm-hmm.
Whoosh. The
Yeah,
whoosh.
there was a whoosh.
When your vagina goes whoosh. You're like, yeah.
First off, I didn't know that was something I should have been listening for.
Well, I don't know if you could hear it.
Yeah. Oh, I heard it
But the ladies,
because I fixed the audio
the
problem.
ladies feel it.
Yeah, there might have been a
What
whoosh.
does that feel like?
whoosh.
What does the whoosh feel like?
Oh yeah,
Just out of
It's just
curiosity.
I'm assuming it's like
Because
It's like when it's like getting really wet, like real quick. When you're all of a sudden like, oh
I have
my
a
God,
feeling
I'm so
it's
turned
sort of
on.
like when your junk gets just a little. It's like what Louis C.K. said. It was really funny. He was talking about a man-on-man scene, which is,
Yeah.
and he was like, but he was like, I had that thing, where your penis just goes, floop, like it just sort of does a thing on its own. It's not getting hard. It's just like. That would sort of be.
our
I have a
whoosh.
feeling that's our whoosh, which is
Yeah.
sort of
No.
like
That's
a lot more
That's an interesting shift that happened without my brain.
whoosh is like a
full on.
Yeah,
Ours,
full on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Whoosh is that's
So
why
then
it's
it's just-
whoosh. It's like the floodgates open.
Got
Whoosh.
it. Got it.
So-
So it's not subtle. Is there a subtle version?
Yeah, I don't know what I would call it.
So,
It's a not whoosh.
It's
It's I guess.
I want to say it's like a trinkle, but then that makes it sound like you're
Oh,
peeing your pants.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not good. None of this is good. So
No.
anyway, my Tesla's fixed.
so wait, when she guys,
Amazing.
when you were at this girl's house, and she turned off the
Well, it
lights.
wasn't a house. It was her dorm. But yes,
She
she did
turned off
turn
the
off the
lights,
lights
and
to
you say,
show.
"Hey,
And we
guess
lay
what?"
down on her bed because she was like, "We gotta lay
yeah.
down in order to see the stars." And I was like, "Yeah, I
Yes.
do."
Did you say, funny, you're into astronomy? Because I'm into astronomy.
Oh God,
I don't think I
No.
said that.
I don't.
I
That was
I'm
not-
I
I'm
can't
just saying,
I can't be
if you wanna
100%
be a
sure.
sleazy,
It does
dirty
sound
guy.
like me. I'm into astronomy.
Especially when you say it like that. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my mic without making noise.
You can't.
I think I didn't screw the thing on tight enough.
That's what she
it's been
said.
Slowly,
Yeah.
It's been slowly dropping.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
opposite of the whoosh.
And I just realized I was sitting here like slowly hunching
Hunching
over
over
to stay
to
in
get
front
into
of
the
the
mic.
mic. Yeah.
It's crazy. Anyway,
Sorry guys. We should probably get to some emails.
let's get
yeah,
to some
let's do
emails.
that.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus, Willy
Yeah, we're
Wookie.
18 minutes in already. So
Well, you know what? You got to
like
talk
halfway
about.
through.
you
Thanks,
gotta talk
timekeeper
about.
Tom.
I was not.
Timekeeper
I was listening to
Tom.
you guys' fascinating and hilarious stories. Oh,
No, I said
did
thank
that.
you for telling us the time.
I
Yeah.
thought you were being sarcastic.
No,
No,
I know
that's
I'm
early.
normally
You actually did the
sarcastic.
thing. All right, here we
I
go.
know my
So this is
default is sarcasm.
yeah. So we're 2 weeks into Alex
Yes.
Briety,
Alex
Um,
Bryant.
which is
Quitter.
doing okay. Which is
Yeah?
doing okay.
Yeah.
How okay?
Okay. The funny thing is I'm not. For me, I'm not. I have no desire to drink. It's weird.
Wow, what?
Still
Heather
sweating?
still has desire to drink.
yeah,
not
I
sweating
heard-
at night.
Right.
Not
Oh, good,
sweating
see?
at night. Yeah,
You
which is
detoxed.
good. Yeah, Heather had a.
I know last
Heather had a
weekend
moment
when
last
she had
weekend.
A show, you were telling me that.
Yeah,
she
she
almost
texted
gave in,
me
and
from-
you were
Right.
very
Well, because we did a show at a dive bar
Yeah.
in the valley.
Oh yeah.
And you
Love
need
that
a drink
place.
just to walk in.
Yeah, it's just, and I think they showed up early, and their friends at the time not super supportive because they were like, "Why are you quitting? Oh, you should just have a drink." Blah, blah, blah. And so I'm driving to the place, and I get this text. It was like, we're really weak. Lee and I are thinking, let's just do it on the weekend. Like, we'll just take the weekdays off. And I was like, no. I was like, I am on my way. You do not fucking
Yeah.
Yourself turbo boost.
Yeah, I was like, turbo boost. Yes, Alex. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Bucephalus, talk.
Yeah, talk. What do you want me to say?
I mean, then everyone's just calling their car Kit.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you better believe there's a lot of KITT Teslas out there.
For sure.
Anyway,
so you get this
Night
email.
Institute 2000.
Yeah.
Was it 2000 or 3000? Anyway.
Can we go to the email?
Yeah, so, email. Cocktails.
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 Woo! Not Stucktails.
How do you do, HHHHH crew? I've been
this from?
listening since episode 1, y'all.
Yes.
I go by Adventureless Hero all the time.
Hi, Adventureless Hero.
Hi, Alex.
I was
So
like, is
I'm
that
now
my
just
cue?
starting to like power
Yeah.
through when I know there's a Hi Allison coming. I had wanted to ask you three, the triumvirate of happy hour halved,
Yeah.
if you have a favorite cocktail. I've been experimenting with quite a few when I go to schwanky places in town that have experienced bartenders and or mixologists, but I haven't really found something that I feel is me.
Oh.
For a while, it was a rusty nail, then an old fashioned,
Yeah.
and then I just invented one that everyone says tastes like nail polish remover.
I'll try
Recipe below for Tom.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, so yeah. might you have any suggestions for a fellow who prefers sipping something potent, stiff? Thank you so much for the show. Love you guys. Love you guys and the laughs you guarantee.
Woo.
So this is what he calls the asshole dream.
Asshole dream?
Asshole dream.
Okay.
There's a story.
Okay.
2 parts Tanqueray gin.
Oh, I hate it already.
Yeah, and I'm not a gin person.
No.
1 part Tito's vodka.
Okay.
1 part Cointreau Noir, which I don't know what Cointreau Noir.
That
Cointreau
sounds
is
like
the
a liquor-
orange stuff, right?
But I was going to say Noir makes me feel like it's coffee.
Oh yeah, it might be like their
Maybe
coffee.
it's like orange coffee.
Yeah. Shaken and served with anything aromatic to prevent the smell of alcohol fumes from burning your nose hairs.
Oh, gosh.
It was named so because when I ordered it, my friend said, "Not that asshole drink again." To which the waitress said, "Asshole dream? Is that what it's called?" Adventureless Hero.
There we go. I love that.
Yeah.
So I'm not a gin guy.
No.
However, I will say
Uh-oh.
I am a fan of the slow gin fizz.
I
Ooh.
haven't had one in a while.
That involves
They're very
egg.
good. It does involve a little bit of egg, but
the whipped egg.
But it's like you must eat stuff like you eat bread or
Yeah, no,
cakes.
I know. I eat stuff that has egg in
That's
it.
the way.
obviously.
But that's the way the gin
the
fizz
thought
is.
of having egg in my drink,
Yeah,
it just is
yeah.
like.
Yeah, it's a
like-
little bit of a. It's basically like a less frou-frou version of like a pina colada.
Right.
Like it doesn't have the fruit flavor, but you have that so because it's blended, so it's almost like
Right.
it's got a consistency of a margarita kind of.
Which, yeah. Speaking of like egg in drink, have you ever had a red eye? When you just take an egg and you drop it in like
coffee?
a beer?
Oh,
No. Isn't that a red
beer?
eye? And then you just drink the beer with the egg in it. It's like a
Ew.
morning. There's a red eye.
yeah,
What?
It's like a
interesting.
fix- You never heard about that?
No.
Yeah, it sounds gross. I've never tried it. I assumed you would have done it in college.
No, God, no. I didn't
Making
eat
bad
raw
decisions
eggs in college.
raw.
We did. I will say we did.
Just goldfish in the fraternity. Right?
yeah, well, yeah, of course. And then you shit them out later live. Anyway,
No.
none of that's true.
Oh, thank
all,
God.
Allison, it's okay. It's okay. That was all just joking.
Jesus.
That was literally all a joke. Allison was just like, her eyes just got so big and was like, what? I was like, no. No, but we convinced Jeff when we were doing the Totally Rad show. So when we did the Totally Rad show back in the day, we used to do these intros. And the intros, if you ask me, Jeff, or Dan, they all meant something different to everybody, which was why they took like 8 hours to 10 hours to
film?
film because everybody had their own requirements and nobody talked about them. It was very weird. But we would take famous scenes from movies and redo them as if they were happening to us live in our lives.
Oh, that's cool.
And one of the ones that we did was loosely a Rocky one, which was Dan playing Eye of the Tiger on Rock Band.
Yeah.
But Dan was every instrument.
Oh, gosh.
So Dan was playing the guitar, singing, but Jeff was like exercising and woke up, open like in the thing.
Yeah.
Dan's Eye of the Tiger was going, and he woke up, took a glass, cracked
Eggs into it.
3 uncooked eggs in it, and
It's called
chugged
raw.
them
Raw
down.
eggs.
Raw or
Yeah.
uncooked, whatever.
Okay.
In the opposite state of cooked.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What?
But he
Switch
drank
it
them
to whatever
and
it's
he
not.
drank them raw, and we were like, "Why would you do that?" And he was like, "I'll fucking do it for the
That's
the
pretty
opening."
awesome.
Anyway,
Oh, I'm looking at the recipe real quick for the red eye. It's vodka, tomato juice, beer, and egg.
Oh God.
So that this is the cocktail
Everything-
from the movie Cocktail.
It's just like ruining.
Oh, right. I remember.
Remember, like,
from
yeah,
Cocktail.
Brian,
He
what's
did
his
it in the
name?
morning, yeah.
It's just like ruining a good vodka.
Okay, so
It's ruining a
slow
lot of
gin
things.
fizz is something to try from Alex here.
I
Tom,
like a
drinky.
Moscow Mule.
Ooh.
Oh, I like Moscow Mules
Yeah,
too.
with Fever Tree ginger beer is like the best.
Yeah.
That's
Like a
So what is
well-made
Moscow Mule?
It's vodka, or it can be vodka or gin. No, whiskey.
well,
It can be
whiskey is
vodka
like,
or whiskey.
Moscow. That's called like a Tennessee Mule. Or
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're
But
right.
the same thing, yeah.
So it's mainly vodka.
Yeah, Moscow, yeah.
But it's mixed with ginger beer.
Interesting.
And it's real.
Got a
Is that
great
it?
bite.
And
then
I think
like a little bit
lemon,
of lime. Squeeze.
Yeah.
That sounds
Which is
fantastic.
good. I don't even
those
use
are the
lime.
those are the drinks that are served in the copper.
Yeah,
mugs.
I love those mugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I had ginger beer at the wedding that we went to.
I know. Yeah, Alex.
feel like a big boy.
I did. I was like,
Alex
I'm
and
gonna have a
Heather.
ginger beer.
Alex and Heather successfully did not drink at that wedding, which I was really impressed
Oh, that's right.
by.
You guys went to this thing last
Yeah,
weekend.
I will tell you that was a moment where there. So there were a couple question marks when embarking on 30 days of not drinking.
Yeah.
Heather's big question mark was, are we going to like each other? Well, she was just
Oh
like,
my gosh.
are we going to be able to get through that? And then to that I responded, well, we usually don't start drinking until like 7, and it's not
So
like
at
you
least-
hate me until 7.
You survive. Right.
Yeah.
You survive 80%
Every day
of the
we
day.
like ourselves, yeah.
that she
And
went
so
there,
she was
though.
like, okay, all right, that's good. And then the other thing is, are we going to be fun?
Right. You guys
In
are
social
It's
thing-
always great sober.
There you go. This is the thing. But big question marks here, people.
Yeah, I still enjoyed hanging
And
out
then the
with you.
second thing is, are we going to find other people
This is the
fun?
third thing.
Or third,
point.
are we going to find
Good
other
point.
people fun?
Right.
And to be honest, we did.
Yeah.
Because we had some good conversations at that wedding that were
Yeah.
really fun, and people were either drunk or not. Then the other thing we started to realize, we were like, a lot of people here aren't drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, well, that's sort of interesting. I mean, not that
Well, it was a
interesting, but
Sunday day wedding.
It
It's
is
not
true.
like-
yeah, it wasn't like a party, pound it, pound.
Poundy, pound. Party, party, poundy, pound.
A party, pound it.
pound it.
So what about you? I know you said yes, Moscow Mule, but do you have
like
any?
Moscow. Well, I also really like old fashions, but this person already said that they don't like those.
Well, that he went through it
Yeah.
and it wasn't his thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a cocktail drinker because if I'm going to drink liquor, I normally like it very simple. Like I normally either do Tito's or Bullet on the rocks with a splash of soda.
Yeah.
Like I normally don't add
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, vodka
neither.
soda seems like the thing
Yeah.
that I'm constantly hearing you order or having me order at Comic-Con parties. You know what I
Yes,
mean? I feel like
exactly.
that's the go-to, like,
I do
out party with Allison, it's like vodka soda
Right.
or
That's
champagne.
my-
I do appreciate like when I go to a mixology type place.
Yeah.
But I feel like the drinks that are there are unique to that place. So
Right.
I wouldn't even know like what they are or what they're called. But it's just like, oh, I seem to like things that involve blackberries.
Blackberry.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where they muddle it in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I also like the Long Island like iced tea, even though it's just like a.
No.
Is that like a?
It's
Yes.
just alcohol. It's just all the alcohol.
all
That's
the
why I
alcohols
like it.
together.
Yeah, Heather and her sister will get Long Island iced teas for. Actually, there's a place around here that used to exist. It went out of business, unfortunately. It was like one of our favorite lunch places called the Fiddler's Bistro.
Oh.
They had one of the best roasted chicken in all of LA, and they went out of business. But they also, it's like this weird dinery place, but they did fucking great Long Island iced teas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And so Heather and her sister would go and be like, Long Island iced teas?
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you so drunk? It's like 1 in the afternoon. They're like, Fiddler's Bistro, Long Island iced teas.
teas.
They make a great Long Island iced tea at the. It's at Universal Studios in the
Oh.
Harry Potter land, the bar there.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Hogsmeade or
Yeah.
Hogsworth?
Yeah.
So we go there and we
Hogsmeade,
get
yeah.
Long Island iced teas because we have
They
like,
make
yearly
Long
passes.
Island iced teas in
Yeah,
there?
and it's
Wow.
great. And one other drink that's really good that I haven't had in a long time is called the Pearl Harbor.
Ooh.
It's vodka with
sounds
pineapple
racist.
and melon. I know.
Yeah.
But my buddy used
Maybe
to order
it's
it
just
back.
about the Pearl Harbor,
yeah,
not the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the
It's a very
destruction
colorful
of.
drink. It's
Yeah,
very,
it's
green.
Oh,
Wait.
that's kind of
fruity.
cool.
It's
So what is it? It's vodka?
Pineapple and
vodka, pineapple, and melon.
or melon.
Melon juice. That's interesting.
3 minutes prep, 0 minutes cook. It says.
Well, that's
You don't
good.
gotta cook it.
Good. Don't cook your drink.
Ain't got no cook. Ain't got no cook. By the way, speaking of which,
So kids can make it.
Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys shop at Trader Joe's,
Yes.
but they have some very interesting, like pre-packaged, pre-seasoned meats.
Oh yeah.
I just got the
good.
whole roaster chicken,
Yeah.
that was like lemon rosemary, and I just put it in a
It's
slow
so
cooker
good.
for
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Holy
I
fuck!
haven't tried it.
No, I
It was
love
like
that stuff.
$14. I was like, just throw it in a slow cooker, 4 hours, boom.
Oh my gosh! You know what I do sometimes is the Sprouts. Sprouts
Yeah.
is a grocery
Yeah.
store that we have here in
Yep.
LA now, but they have already fully cooked chickens.
Yeah.
either like barbecue
Yep.
or probably something like herby,
garlic.
rosemary,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just buy one of those and stick it in my fridge, and then I eat it the whole week.
Yeah, totally.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
we used to do that at Ralph's. They have really
Right.
good sort of like the rotisserie chicken thing.
No.
Yeah, but I was sort of cool that I was like, oh my God, I just cooked a whole chicken. Like I've never cooked
You
a
really
whole
cooked-
chicken.
You just basically threw it in a thing and
Yeah, but I
let
cooked it. It was raw. It was raw. And by the
It
way,
seemed like it was a big feat. I just cooked a whole
well,
chicken.
it came out and I didn't die from salmonella, so
Yeah.
it was physically cooked.
Nice.
And also it tasted very good.
That's
Good.
All right.
Because I like that. Because I also
I'm
did
so
the.
hungry right now.
I know,
We've been
right?
talking about food so much, and I'm like,
I
oh
know.
my God.
Yeah.
Do you have more
been
food in the
eating.
house now that you're not drinking as much? Because you guys were worried about eating too
Yeah.
much.
My problem is I actually told Heather, I was like, I think it's become clear to me that I am more addicted to sugar than I am alcohol. 100%.
Yeah.
Like I will just fucking snap at like 8 and just order like a Snickers, bag of M&Ms, and a bag of Skittles.
You
Order?
literally Postmates candy?
Yeah.
Oh my! What's
You
bad.
you rich, Alex? Jesus,
bad.
come on.
No, it's bad.
Postmating candy.
And then I'll get in the car and drive to CVS and fucking order and then just buy a bag, just like stand and just like that bag, this bag, that bag, this
Oh my
bag.
God.
It's
You look
bad.
good for a guy who's addicted to sugar, though. You could be a lot bigger.
Well, but it's
Yeah.
because I'm not drinking any alcohol and I'm working out 3 days a week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How's the workout going?
It's great. We do it 3 days a week.
Well, your voice
It's awesome.
gets that high. I don't necessarily believe
Yeah,
you.
yeah. You're just trying to convince
Hey!
yourself.
No. So did have I talked about the TRX thing
Yeah,
that I got?
yeah,
and all this
yeah.
Okay, so we're doing this thing 3 days a week. TRX band. It takes about a half hour, or it takes about 45 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever. So here's the thing. It's easy.
Yep.
Heather's doing it with me, so it's like, boom, let's just go do it.
Right.
But the thing is, it's like it's kind of hard. Like for somebody who has so much free time, it's very weird that there's really not as much free time to do the specific thing that you think.
Right.
Because it's like Heather's, hanging out with her mom because her mom's, sick, and so we're going through all the sick stuff, and so it's
Yeah.
like Wednesday she goes to Cedars-Sinai, and so it's like, oh, Wednesday is the day that we're working out. Okay, well, we've literally had times where she's gone to the hospital, stayed there with her mom to do some stuff, and then came back, and her mom sat here and
While you
watched
guys
us
walked
work out.
Oh, man.
While we walked out. We were like,
Is that
fuck
not
you,
what I
you
said?
stay,
Walked
and
out?
we're leaving.
Worked out.
Yeah, while we worked out.
Watched you worked out.
It was actually very funny because she was just sitting there. She said the funniest fucking thing. She was sitting there. She was like, God, I can't believe it. And then I would do an exercise, and she was like, well, Heather, you're not doing that one, are you? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, my God. And then she goes, have you guys tried walking? And we're
Hard-ass.
like, yes,
Yeah.
we have tried walking.
Right.
You don't get as much muscle mass buildup as you
No.
think when you're walking.
You're walking.
But anyway, but it's funny because it's good because we're doing it, but also it's like sometimes we have to find it. It's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's like we got to do this because
6 o'clock in the afternoon.
or 6 o'clock
I
at
would
night.
call that the evening. Yeah.
Evening? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
It is technically afternoon, but
Yeah.
Anyway, but so it's going well.
All right. Should we do
Good.
one more email or a story or something? I feel like
Why don't we do an email that has a story? Let's
Talked
do
about
that.
ourselves for the past
I know.
half hour. Pretty.
Oh, this is fun.
Oh, is it? Is it fun?
It is.
We'll be the
Let's
judge of
do
that.
th- Let's
Yeah.
do this one. I mean, it's just like what? Okay.
What?
There are no words. This is the subject. There are
Okay.
no words. ... There are, however, over 3,000 dicks.
Oh,
yes.
no.
Hi, H4 gang of 3. Art here.
Hi, Art.
Hi, Allison. Hi, Alex and SVTK.
Yo.
Boom. An almost unbelievable article here. What the fuck is the world coming to? Morgue employee arrested.
Morgue employee.
Morgue
Oh, God.
employees
Okay.
arrested after police find over 3,000 embalmed dicks.
What?
Where are the Australian spiders when you need one? Thanks always, Art.
I read that article. I think it's from like a joke website. It's like
Oh.
I think it's like the Daily
Where's it
World
from?
News Daily
World
Report.
News. The World News is like a Enquirer kind of thing.
Is
you look
it?
at the other ads on there for other articles.
Snopes it.
Snopes it. We're Snopes
Yeah, either way,
and thank you so much for doing that.
It's a
'cause I wanna-
brilliant
here we go.
story. I love the concept of it, even though it's horrible.
It's like everyone
But,
just took the dicks
yeah.
off of dead people.
Well,
No, this one guy.
and he put them each in jars
Yep.
on shelves.
What?
I love that I'm
That's-
searching Snopes for 3,000 dicks.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, here we go. Fact check. Rumors holding that American Pope was involved in salacious.
If you look at the guy's picture, he doesn't look. He looks a little,
Like he would want to take 3,000 dicks
exactly,
off of dead
but
people?
not be able to work in a morgue.
Right. Oh.
Not to
Yeah,
judge someone on
it
their
does.
looks.
It says rating false.
False.
See, this is the problem with the show like ours.
Yeah.
Because you want that 3,000 dicks article to be right. And by the way, it was sent in by a fan who was like,
Right.
but this is also a problem with news in general.
Fake news.
It's literally fake news, but
Yeah.
but
That's entertaining fake news.
I know.
Yeah, at least that's not the fake news that might be the end of our
Yeah, exactly.
civilization
By the
as we know
way,
it.
by BT Dubs,
What's up?
Heather and I have started watching The Handmaid's Tale.
How is it? Can I check
Welcome
it out?
to
I don't-
2017.
I know, but I was just like, why? It was just a thing that was like,
Oh, it's so good.
Jesus
Slash,
Christ.
so scary.
Holy
Yeah,
fuck.
right?
Have you watched it yet?
No, I gotta get Hulu. I'm considering it. Yeah.
So first
Yeah.
off, free trial. Just do the 30-day free trial and then watch. There's only 10 episodes. Watch it all. And by the way, I actually subscribe to Hulu.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
full case
I
in
do
point.
too.
Get your
And I
password.
do it just because I was like, there's stuff on there. Like we watch all the Always Sunny. We're catching up on Always Sunny.
Right.
They have all the seasons of Always Sunny. It's like $11.99 a month, and I'm like,
That's good.
fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I
Same as
mean?
Netflix,
Like
really,
it's
yeah.
not that.
But yeah,
it's not that
Handmaid's
bad.
Tale.
But fucking Handmaid's Tale.
That's why it won all the awards at the Emmys.
Holy shit! Oh,
Yeah.
also speaking of which,
Yeah.
I finally saw the San Junipero.
I want to see that one.
Oh.
Junipero, the
Black-
episode
the
of
Black
Black Mirror.
Mirror.
Yeah, have you seen
Yeah,
it?
I
yeah.
haven't.
It's fucking
that-
amazing.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, it's so great.
It is. By far, I mean, look, my buddy directed one of the episodes of the season, so that
watched
has to
that
be my
episode.
favorite one.
Scared the shit out
Yeah.
of me.
But other than my buddy's episode, my two this is why Black Mirror exists episodes
Yeah.
are the San Junipero or Junipero. I can't remember what it is.
Junipero,
It's like
yeah.
weird episode, and then the episode in the first season,
Yeah,
with
with Kurt
the
Russell's
eyes. No, the one with the eyes
with
with
the
Travis Fimmel.
Guy, no, the guy,
not Travis Fimmel.
the guy who plays
sounds
the,
like that.
The guy who plays the ape in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, fuck. Wait for it.
Waiting for it.
I'll figure it out. It rhymes with Travis Fimmel because I remember we were casting
Oh,
a movie,
right. Yeah, you
and I
talked
kept
about that,
saying
and then-
like they kept saying Travis Fimmel, and I was like, yeah, that guy. I fucking love that guy from the Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, and then they were like, that's not
the guy.
not who it is. But anyway,
I should see it.
you go.
Oh, my
I think it stars the girl from *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite
Mackenzie
shows.
something or
Mackenzie
other, who's
something.
fucking great.
She is great.
great. And Gugu, I swear to God, that's her name.
Yes.
It's Gugu.
Love
Yeah.
Something, which we also looked at casting her for something, and I was like, who the fuck is this? She was in something else, and then at the end of that
was in-
episode, I was like, "That's fucking Gugu." I was
Yeah.
like, "Fucking
Could've
love that
had
chick."
that.
She's in,
in the
she was
movie.
in that Kiefer Sutherland show, that short-lived Kiefer Sutherland show where his like son could
Oh yeah, he had like
he had
autism or something, but then
like
he
had
could,
powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that was called, but she was also in. She was. It wasn't like Selma, but she was in one of those like playing like Martin Luther King's wife or something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, which I was like, oh cool. Anyway,
Gotta check it out. All right.
but yeah, *Handmaid's Tale*.
So good.
Speaking of fake news, like that is scary as fuck, and I didn't know
Yeah.
that the books were written in like the 80s.
Yeah.
So this is like,
Yeah.
and they updated it pretty well.
It's only
but you
one
gotta
book,
watch it.
I think.
Check it out.
Oh, is it only one book? I don't know.
It's only
I
one
just-
book. And also I don't know if this is true or not, but I haven't read the book because I don't want to be spoiled because I love the show so much.
Yeah.
But someone told me the book actually ends where season 1 ends.
That wouldn't be
So-
surprising.
How are they gonna?
Yeah.
I see.
Well, that
Well.
may be going forward. Then they get to go wherever they want.
Yeah, it's
but,
called Game of Thrones.
But so I'm tempted to now read the book if it's not actually going to spoil
Cool.
going forward.
yeah, I had a friend.
I had a friend once, too.
I had a friend who
I have
she
two
was
friends.
really into the book, and so when it was coming out, I was seeing her Facebook posts that were like, oh my god, they did so well, and like this is how they
Yeah.
handled this character and this is really good, and then she was like, okay, well this is not quite like the book, but I really understand how they did
Yeah.
it, because I was sort of thinking, because it's really not, the thing I find very interesting is it's not racist. Do you know what I mean? Like there are. Like it's not
Yes,
like race isn't the thing.
Isn't the thing, right?
You know what I mean? It's sort of
yes.
like the
It's-
female
it's gender.
place. It's
Yeah.
gender, but it's also homophobic in the same way. So it's
Oh,
like
right,
it's very,
yeah.
but also ultra religion. So it's like this weird.
Yeah.
But then the religion is a very specific version of Christianity.
Yeah,
It's like so
it's so
fucking
bizarre.
weird. You gotta watch it. It's like,
What I really
crazy.
loved about the show is
and it
that
looks
like,
gorgeous.
yeah, it's amazing. But I loved that, the poor. I'm trying
Alfred?
to say things without.
Oh,
having
yeah.
spoilers. Yeah, but Alfred, like, obviously she's a handmaid because she's still capable of getting pregnant, so she's required to have sex with the leaders of the community. And so you have to watch these.
Gross.
You have to watch these super uncomfortable sex scenes.
Really? Aye.
But then there's like
like me looking in a
actual
mirror
sexy
while
stuff
having
that goes
sex.
on
Whoa.
off to the side,
Yeah.
and that so it's like I watch the show and I'm like, oh, poor Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, get it, Elizabeth Moss. Like,
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
switch back and forth
I know.
between very, very different sex scenes where you're like, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so turned on. I'm
Yeah.
so uncomfortable. I'm
It's
so
a
turned
it's a very
Yeah.
cool
Worth the free
blend.
trial of Hulu.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
worth the free trial of. There's some boobs. Just saying.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
Oh, gross.
All right, I think we did it.
Yeah, I think that's enough gross.
Actually, 40 minutes right now.
On boobs are gross.
Yeah,
We're
boobs
ending
are
the
gross.
show.
Guys,
Hey.
we just state facts. By the way, that is the most fake news of all fake news.
Right,
Boobs
exactly.
are gross.
Exactly. Hey,
Fake news.
everyone. Thank you for listening to this train wreck episode
Yeah, we're
of
sorry.
the show. If you want to email us, you can email us at halfhourhappyhourfans@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, halfhourhappyhr. Please subscribe to us and rate us on whatever you listen to us on, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, whatever. The dark web.
Ooh.
I'm sure we're there
I'm sure
somewhere.
we're on the dark
I'm sure
web.
we're there somewhere. That is it for this week's episode of the Half Hour Happy Hour with Alison and Alex. I'm Alison Haislip.
And I'm Alex Albrecht. Next week, we will be having a special guest, and that special guest will be the special guest we have every week, Tom Super Volcano Crash.
Yeah.
That was the rails.
Scream!
Now leaving Nerdist.com.